to raise your, I'm going to say something that's maybe provocative, maybe not, but to raise your kids that way, there's a level of responsibility on you to have worked through your shit and to figure out so that you can do it effectively. I
Hmm.
think maybe, and again, none of us are perfect, but some parents who cling more to that stricter, more do it my way, maybe part of that, even if it's unconscious, is this thought of like, well, I haven't done all the work yet. So for me to do it that way, that seems too scary and too like, and it to do it effectively, to trust that you can do it effectively and release some of that control, you have to
Hmm.
feel confident that you've done the work yourself and you can kind of navigate through it. And that's a hard thing for people to do. And I think that that gets to some of it. I do want to ask though, like, again, you get the spirit of the show now, and I think you're very much game with me on this. Of like, yeah, let's talk about it. Let's explore the things that sometimes people don't want to ask because they're worried it's going to be like. Inevitably, there's some people listening are like, listen to Sue. Like she thinks she has all the answers. She thinks she
Yeah,
figured it
yeah.
all out. She knows her
Well,
parenting style worked. And I know you're not saying that, but
yeah, yeah.
um, and in the spirit of self-awareness, I think part of that is being like entertaining that and being like, well, am I maybe like I don't know, like maybe like well, maybe I'll ask the question this way. Somebody asked me this question once, like what mistakes did you make? And when I ask that question, what mistakes, I don't mean it in the way of like the obvious ones where like you realized already, like, ooh, I screwed that one up. In the spirit of none of us being perfect, there's
Yeah.
inevitably some things in all our minds that we think we got right, but we actually didn't. And that's back to that blind, like it's almost impossible to know that. So frame this however you want to frame it. If we were to ask your kids, like, what did they
Yeah,
think
yeah.
you got most wrong? That
I've
type of
asked
thing.
them.
Yeah.
I've
Like,
asked them.
had there been any like blind spots that you were like, holy shit, I had no idea that was a problem where I was doing that wrong? Like any of that that came up?
I mean, this is going to sound horrible. I've asked them because I have no problem. Again, I mean, I've brought the kids into the fold and we talk about it. And, they're now at the point, and I'll get to mistakes I've made.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But they're now at the point where, like, we'll talk about, um, we know a kid who's got DUIs now and he's probably going to jail, and the kids text back. I'm like, it's all parenting, mom. It's all parenting. We were so lucky. How did we get so lucky? And they know that we trust them and we don't judge them. And, my daughter, I mean, the text you get, oh, please, you got so much, I'm like, yeah, the vaping and like we talk about, well, okay, yeah, you can't get a full breath. Well, I wonder why.
Mm,
You used your friend's vape, you put your mouth on someone else. So we still deal with all of this stuff. So, the kids at the end of the day, if you asked all four of them would tell you we never felt judged by our parents, and we had a great relationship and we did a lot of laughing. I'm going to say we both pretty much did a great job through the teen years, like, but early on for sure I was very much a yeller, very I wouldn't say temper, but like I'm quick to, I'm a type A, I'm balancing a lot of stuff. There's a lot of kids and damn it, I'm stressed and tired. So I don't give a shit what you think. You're just going to do it. So yes, I fall into that path. It's so easy to talk about all the techniques that I teach and train that, 70% of the times I employed.
mm, mm.
30% of the time, I don't give a shit. I'm tired and I'm doing it right now. I don't know if that's a mistake. I don't look back with regret on any of that, but I do look back and go, I'm human and I can't respond in just the perfect way, the perfect time every single time because I'm human. And my husband is a lot more patient than I am. And he'd just be like, honey, my God, you really went after him. I'm like, well, they know who I am. That's how I am, and I would make not excuses, but I would just go like, my kids know who I am.
Mm.
Sorry, I'm having a bad day. And you can't really be sensitive around me. Really, I'm a man in a woman's body. I
Mhm.
can't. You can't. I'm gonna say it, and this is how it is. Some of the kids might have felt a little put off. But again, I do have that chapter on guilt, and I don't do guilt. I just don't. If I make a mistake and I say something regrettable, I will apologize. Or if somebody makes me aware that the mom, that when you said that, that really hurt my feelings. I'm like, I'm really sorry. I didn't realize that, or I probably had a poor choice of words, or so. I don't look back in regret, or I try to take care of everything in the moment. And I do create an environment of trust with the kids to where they can tell me in that
Mm,
moment.
mm.
Um, so, but I'm a yeller and I don't really think thoroughly before I speak. So if it's on my head, it's out my mouth.
Mm.
And that could be hurtful for people. So, but yeah, if you asked all four kids, I with 100% assurance know that they would say, no, we laughed, we had no judgment, and our parents trusted us.
Mm.
So
Yeah. No, I mean, I love it. And I think it articulates again that challenge, that contradiction in life where it's like, we're again, where we started, where like, I have no reason to believe everything you're saying isn't true, obviously, and you've done the work to think through it, and that's why you've written the book and all of that. And there's this weird dichotomy of like, it requires a level of humility to be self-aware, but it requires a level of confidence to then
yeah,
teach it, right?
I
And
was just going to
balancing
finish your
that,
sentence.
yeah,
Confident. Yeah. You